A light is ready to shine throughout Glasgow and Scotland once again. Hopes and dreams sealed and shattered in a single breath. Be there when new European champions are crowned.
Our thanks go to sponsors and partners without whom this event would not be possible. Funding partner, Sport England. Official partners, Tier, Merthyr Pools. Endorsed product, Sports Systems. Host city, Marketing Sheffield and Sheffield International Venues.
To look forward to then, ladies and gentlemen, over the course of the morning. A big welcome to you inside venue here at Ponds Forge, and also those watching on the live stream as well. The hashtag you can use as ever during the course of the day is SE Swimming. Lots of you were getting in touch last night, and we hope for more of the same as well today. But we'll also be running once again our tier competition. All you'll have to do is send us your best supporting selfies over the course of the day. And of course during the 800 metre freestyles as well is a good chance to do that, and the winner at the end of the day will be given a tier mesh bag of their colour choice. So do make sure you get involved, and we look forward to see your entrance. Now, you may have seen on a couple of those VTs there about what's coming up, not just now but also in the future as well, and today marks the start of the European Championships in Glasgow. Now, don't worry, you're not missing out too much, because it does run until the 12th of August, and you can still get your ticket on glasgow2018.com or visit them in the foyer over the course of the week as well for some freebies. So best of luck, of course, to our British representatives that will be there at the European Championships over the course of the next 10 days. 6 sports, 50 countries competing, 3,000 athletes taking part as well. So we very look forward to seeing their progress. But of course, it's all about the right here, right now in Ponds Forge with this Swim England National Summer Meet 2018. 2 days down, and we've still got 3 to go. Ladies and gentlemen, the big question is, are you ready? You never know what you're going to get with this bunch, do you?
That is a very day 3 answer. Ladies and gentlemen, let's spur ourselves on into the weekend. Are you ready? That's a little.
A lot better. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Right then, let's get this show on the road then by starting off by welcoming to poolside our referees and their team of technical officials. Ladies and gentlemen, your referees for this morning's session are Helen Somerhill and Joanne Highfield. Your starters for this morning's session are Rhiannon Edwards and Ian McConville. And your technical director, Roger Fryer. Officials, you may be seated. A couple of your tweets already coming in this morning. A few early birds on the timeline. Amanda says, good luck to William Baines, Tom Ward and Faye McDonough swimming for the borough of Stockton today. Helen saying, we're here again at Ponds Forge. Nathan Woodrow swimming in the 100 free and 50 back. Tough couple of weeks, Nathan, but you can do it. Not long now. You can be home with Winston the dog, and a great picture there of Winston as well. I'm sure he'll be backing Nathan this morning for City of Norwich. Finley says, good luck to all the team best swimmers swimming at the Nationals today. You will be brilliant. Let's wait to find out if that is going to be the case, because we're ready to go now with our first event, the men's 100 metre freestyle, and this is Heat 1. Underway with the first of 8 heats in the men's 100 free. And at the minute, in the middle of what is a busy couple of days for them, a very demanding couple of days as well. We had the 1500 metre yesterday, and the 800 coming up this afternoon. But I'm sure they want to put that to the back of their minds right now. Here, lane 0, Oliver Taylor. 1, Toby Hill. 2, Michael Klimaszewski. 3, Finley Mackin. 4, Isaac Ellis. 5, Dylan Godfrey. 6, Samuel Wiles. 7, David Schroka. And in 8 is William Baines. Soaring home then in lane 2, Michael Klimaszewski of Hatfield. 55.47 is his time, a big improvement on his entry time as well. Samuel Wiles in second, and third spot goes to Dylan Godfrey of Wantage. All those swimmers in the same age group there, so big victory for Klimaszewski in that sense in Heat 1, as we now go on to Heat number 2. Splitting half for this one with no lane 4, but the rest of the lanes as follows. Jack Haynes of Wolverhampton in 0. In 1 from Preston, Nathan Holmes. 2 from Shiverers, Elijah Kendrick. In lane 3 from Haringey, Max Green. 5 from Cockermouth, Pierce Greening. In 6 from Beckenham, Joshua Ellis. His namesake Samuel from City of Liverpool is in 7. Lane 8 from Sevenoaks, Zachary Raymond. And in 9 from Mid-Sussex, Oliver Richardson. Lane 3, Max Green of Haringey making up some decent ground here. There's a pack of around 3 or 4 on the far side, and we're also tempted to join the front as well. And the first touch comes in for Max Green, 56.21, the only time under 57 there, and he did it by over 300 at 3/4 of a second, should I say. Second for Pierce Greening, and third Samuel Ellis. With the confirmation of those results, close between Ellis and Raymond in that battle for third, as we now go on to heat number 3. Lane 0 from Rotherham Metro, Harry Thorman. 1 from City of Birmingham, William Cooper. Jay Cushion of Winsford is in 2. Representing Mount Kelly in 3 is Maxwell George. In 4 from Chelsea and Westminster, William Rudd. Kieran Bott of City of Leicester is in 5. Charlie Langford of Thanet Swim in 6. In 7 from Basildon and Phoenix, James Spears. Nova Centurions, Andrew Hall is in 8. And Arian Lally of Hillingdon is in lane number 9. Looking in lane 1 here, William Cooper of City of Birmingham certainly has got his mojo together at the moment, the way he's going through the water, with Kieran Bott in 5 and maybe just James Spears as well in 7 being your top 3 there. Indeed, that is the case as well. So Cooper home first on 54.71, Bott on 55.32, and James Spears of Basildon 55.58. Confirmation on the scoreboard. Up next is heat number 4. It's 0 from Sutton Cheeve, Spencer Creemore. 1 from City of Norwich, Nathan Woodrow. 2 from Camden Swiss Cottage, Pavla Stampekovic. In 3 from Modernian, Joshua Bristow. 4 from Plymouth Leander, Batuan Parker. In 5 from Amersham, Jamie Owen. 6 from City of Liverpool, Alex Thompson. Lane 7 from Wickham District, Joshua Williams. And in 8 from Lincoln Vulcans, Ethan Grace Richards. With Austin Slade Jeffrey of Havant and Waterlooville in lane number 9. This time around, we're looking at lanes 3 and 4. Joshua Bristow is in 3 from Modernian. He was leading at the halfway point as well, with Batuan Paika of Plymouth Leander in 2nd position. Those two leaving behind the rest of the pool. And 3rd looks like it may be battle out between Williams and maybe Grace Richards on the far side as well. But it's Paika first, 54.5, a tenth of a second ahead of Joshua Bristow. And Joshua Williams leads home the rest of the cavalry with a time of 55.02 in 3rd. Up next is Heat 5.
Take your mark.
And off and racing in heat number 5 of these men's 100 metre freestyles. In 0 from Camden Swiss Cottage is Jackson Olin. In 1 from Mount Kelly, Benjamin Gillingham. In 2 from Gloucester is Cameron Lewis. Herbie Kinder goes for City of Peterborough in 3. In 4, Sam Perkins from Team Ipswich. Toby Laguda from Hatfield in 5. In 6, Jacob Arman from Seals, South Africa. Lewis Moore from Team Ipswich in 7. Joseph Thompson from Plymouth Leander in 8. And George Robert Shaw from Dorking in 9. And it's Toby Laguda who has the advantage then heading into the final 15 metres here. Young man from Hatfield is strong into the wall and he gets there. 53.87 for Toby Laguda. That's a good little time as well. Well inside his entry time. He'll be delighted with that. Sam Perkins 2nd and Jackson Olin got 3rd. Results are on the scoreboard. We can move ourselves on to heat number 6.
Take your mark.
Heat number 6 then, in 0 from Taunton Dean, Mason Angove. In 1 from Team Ipswich, Thomas Clare. 2 from Portsmouth North Sea, Max Nugent. 3 from East Leeds, Ben Taylor Walsh. In 4 from Denmark, Jonas Kistorp. 5 from City of Sheffield, Keane Senior. In Surrey University is Rory Huggins in 6. In 7, Ellesmere College Titans, Billy Pettit. In 8 from Melton Mowbray is William Graham. And in 9, Shaquille Jordani from Haringey. Now, close finish this. 15 metres to go, and any 1 from 3, maybe even 4. Leading is Ben Taylor Walsh, not by a lot, but at this point enough. Finishing strongly to Keane Senior. Does he get there? Not quite. Just finishing first is Ben Taylor Walsh. He holds on. He nudges out Keane Senior and Rory Huggins to third. Jonas Kistorp is good for 4th. Those are the official results. Taylor Walsh, Senior, Huggins and Kistorp. We move on to Heat 7.
Take your mark.
No lane 3 in this one. In 0 from Daventure Excel, Ben Fitzhugh. In 1 from City of Derby is Shay Bradley. In 2 from Woking, Matthew Ferguson. 4 from Kvik Kastrup, Sebastian Overson. In 5 from Richmond Dale, Thomas Flower. In 6 from Loughborough Uni, Nathan Wells. In 7 from City Milton Keynes, Miles Drabwell. Michael Ripper from City of St Albans is in 8, and Nathaniel Rodriguez from Sevenoaks goes in lane 9. 25 metres to go then, and it's between 2, maybe 3. It's the man in lane 5 who's leading the way. That's Thomas Flower. Sebastian Overson not too far back. Matthew Ferguson giving all he can in 2. Going to be Wells, or Flower rather, who gets there just in front of Overson. Ferguson in 3rd, Wells in 4th. That's good swim from the Richmond Dale swimmer. 51.66 the winning time. And those results are confirmed. Flower, Overson and Ferguson the 1, 2, 3. We move on to Heat 8.
Take your mark.
Away we go. In our final heat, Alec White from Exeter City goes in 0. From City of Salford, Scott Proven. Harry Minchella from Beckenham in 2. Thomas Howley from Newcastle in 3. Kevin Vitt Christensen from Denmark in 4. Marcus Svensson, also of Denmark, in 5. James Baxter from Wigan District in 6. Daniel Morley from Derwentslide in 7. William Hogg from Adventure Excel in 8. And Ethan Raymond from Plymouth Leander in 9. And it's the 2 Danish swimmers who are leading the charge towards home here. It's Kevin Vitt Christensen who has the big advantage. He is the only man who entered the time under 50 seconds. He nearly did it again in the heats. 50.04, quickest we've seen by a distance so far this morning. Really good from Kevin Vitt Christensen. Marcus Svensson 2nd, Thomas Howley 3rd. Results are now on the scoreboard, and Kevin Vitt Christensen will be the quickest through to tonight's final in the senior men. Really good swim from the Dane. As mentioned, the only man to enter a time dipping under the 50-second barrier. And he very nearly did it in the heat here this morning. Time to move on to our second event of the day, which will see the girls come to the pool. be underway very, very soon. In the meantime, let's take a look at what you lovely lot are saying on Twitter. Hashtag SE Swimming to get in touch with us. Tell you what, we'll do that in a little moment because I think we're ready to go down the pool deck for event 302. This is the women's 400 meters freestyle. We start with heat number 1.
There's quite a few 400 metre freestyle races going on today. The 10 heats with the women, and later on we'll also have the men's multi-class and women's multi-class 400 metre freestyle events as well. The first of them here consisting of an army of 3, with Rue Fowler of Team Bath in lane 3. Molly Fisher of Rotherham Metro in 4. And in 5 from Dulwich is Mila Jovanov. On paper, half a second separating the 3 of them. Fisher's entry 4:45.45. And Jovanov in 5 and Fowler in 3, more turning alongside one another as they approach the halfway point of this heat. All these swimmers are in the youngest category, 12 to 13-year-olds, and that is the same as well for heat 2. Still Fisher ahead then, down the centre. Not too far away from the Metro. Just the other side of the Meadowhall border. With Jovanov, Fowler still very much even. Can Fisher be caught here? She's certainly getting some good support from poolside, and she's very much looking undeterred, but is there going to be a challenge from behind her? Rue Fowler trying to just give it that extra little push, and she may have just got a nose in front here of Mila Jovanov at this point. The main thing for these swimmers, of course, you want to win your heat, but also getting those seconds off of your PB, making those advancements forward. Fisher doing that, split of 3:31.93. It's encouraging reading. Fowler around half a second in front of Jovanov, so the gap beginning to now grow, not at the quickest rate. Kicks being now really emitted from the feet of Mila Jovanov of Dulwich in lane 5. Not so much so from Molly Fisher, should I say, but does she really need to? Well, when she goes into the final 50, still with that handsome buffer between her and Rue Fowler, who is trying to just snip away at the margins here. And it's a gap now of 1.5 seconds between Fowler and Jovanov and Fisher. So it's going to be pretty close finish between Rue Fowler in lane 3 and Mila Jovanov in lane 5. We suspected that would be the case right from the start, but Molly Fisher has led from the start, and she will do so into the wall as well. 4:44 on the dot. That's an improvement on the entry. Just waiting for the confirmation of Rue Fowler's time. It is ahead of Mila Jovanov, despite what the scoreboard says there in terms of the positioning of the swimmers. Fisher from Fowler from Jovanov, confirmation of which is now on the screen. And we will now get ready for Heat 2. Eight swimmers in this, and once again, all in that 12-13 age group. So a direct competition between all of them here. And 4:44, you saw the time from Molly Fisher in that previous heat. That is the early time to beat. Most of these swimmers will be confident that they can beat that, but of course they've got to go out and prove it. Lane 1 from Wigan Best is Olivia Sheehan. 2 from Chelmsford, Erin Little. Lane 3 from Tynemouth, Millie Fenton. In 4, City of Leeds' Freya Johnson. In 5, and representing Basildon and Phoenix, is our youngest competitor here, Ruby Wheeler. In 6 from Mid-Sussex, Bethany Abrams. In 7 from Exeter City, Josephine Klein. And in 8 from City of Leeds, Neve Carroll. Well, quite a few swimmers pretty dispersed from one another, but not in 5 and 6, where Bethany Abrams of Mid-Sussex and Ruby Wheeler in lane 5 are very close together indeed. At the moment, they're both trailing in the way of Erin Little in lane 2 of Chelmsford, who's made a steady start. Certainly foundations being laid there to build on going into the second half of this. It's going to be a very tight competition. As you can't say at the halfway point that she's running away with it. So we're past halfway. 2:17.29 the split for Little. She's a second ahead of Ruby Wheeler, who in turn is 800ths ahead of Bethany Abrams. So those two, you'd imagine, will be in that little tug of war right to the bitter death. Little's position at the front now being swamped by Wheeler and Abrams as well. And in lane 8, Neve Carroll, City of Leeds, is trying to throw herself up towards the front batch. Freya Johnson, also a City of Leeds, is improving at a good rate as well, and maybe just lining herself up to fire when it comes to the final 100 metres. Still Erin Little though, with the number 1 next to her name. Arms doing quite a bit of the work at the moment, in contrast to Ruby Wheeler, who's seemingly spreading out the workload between her feet and her arms as well, giving it a bit of a kick, but very fluid through the water. Still trailing though. Bethany Abrams struggling to keep up with the pace of the Basildon swimmer, and maybe she'll be roped in very shortly by Freya Johnson as well of City of Leeds. Interesting, Freya Johnson coming into this event with a time of 4:42.75. That's just 900ths of a second quicker than that of Ruby Wheeler. But the deficit flipping around and favouring Ruby Wheeler right now, and maybe she'll turn here just in front of Erin Little, and she does as well. Finally the patience paying off for Ruby Wheeler, and now she can really kick on in the final 50. Erin Little, though, not giving this one up at all. It's been a very gritty display from Erin Little in lane 2 from Chelmsford, and the margin's still very fine between her and Ruby Wheeler. Wheeler certainly now has left behind Abrams and Johnson. They'll battle it out for third between themselves. We're at the front. Ruby Wheeler in lane 5 with 5 metres to go, comes towards the scoreboard. She will get there ahead of Erin Little, not by an awful lot. Good race between the two there. And Bethany Abrams holds on for third. So Ruby Wheeler winning it, 4:38.82. Erin Little next in on 4:39.42. And then in third, Bethany Abrams. Confirmation of those 8 results on the scoreboard now. We go on to heat number 3.
Underway then in heat number 3. Got Annabelle Wilkinson going in lane 0 here for City of Sheffield. Evie Dilly in 1 from Middlesbrough. In 2 from Guildford City is Kennedy Gordon. In 3 from City of Liverpool, that's Lois Keys. In 4, Ella Stabler from York City. In lane 5 from Swin Bournemouth is Leah Paratai Avea. In 6 from Bracknell is Ashley Morrow. In 7 from Northampton is Bobby Harper. In 8 from City of Sheffield is Ashley Bailey. And in 9 from City of Bradford is Hermione Rowe. Coming towards the halfway point of this 400 here. And very even so far, as you can see really, all the way across the pool. Very, very close. All the swimmers on the near side pretty much in a line from lane 4 down to 0. Ella Stabler, Lois Keys, Kennedy Gordon, Evie Dilly and Annabelle Wilkinson. Then from Alex Palatayavea up to Hermione Rowe, a little bit of a discrepancy builds. Almost a race of 2 halves, this. Palatayavea got away well off the wall there and is hoping to join the crowd. Challenging for top spot in this one. Hermione Rowe having a great race all the way over on the far side. She's been in brilliant form this week. All the way through really in the 13-year category. Coming up towards 300 metres. A little bit more that we know now about the race. Now got a leading trio. Ella Stabler, 4. Lois Keys, 3. And Kennedy Gordon, 2. It's just about Ella Stabler who has the advantage, turning at the 300-metre mark. By about 7/10 of a second. It's not a lot. But she does look strong, it must be said, the York City Bath Summit. Now we are on the 400s. We may expect to see less PBs in the heats. Seen an awful lot of them this week. 400 is something that we do have to slightly think about the evening with. Long races. And I get the sense that these youngsters are getting by this week on pure adrenaline. Coach's task is just to hold them back more than anything else at times, and then release them. And that's what they've done here today. It's Ella Stabler who's going to win it. In lane 4, 4:37 from Ella Stabler. You mentioned that we might not see too many dip below their entry times. It's exactly what we've seen in the first race here. Ella Stabler wins it, 4:37. Kennedy Gordon second, Lewis Keys in third. All three of the top 3 dipping below their entry times. Fantastic to see. Those are the confirmed results, and we can move ourselves on now to heat number 4. Heat 4 of the 400-metre freestyle then in 0. Got City of Sheffield's Grace Conroy. May Bradburn from Chelmsford goes in lane 1. From Beckenham in 2 is Annabelle Wilson. In 3 from Guildford City is Charlotte Wensley. 4 is Alexandra Woodhead from Borough of Kirklees. 5, Stockport Metro's Olivia Heron. In 6 from Borough of Kirklees is Emily Brooke. From Camden Swiss Cottage, in 7 is Alexis Alambropoulos. In 8 from Royal Wolverhampton School is Katie Leary. And in 9, from City of Manchester Aquatics, Jasmine Stockton. And as they come for home here, and indeed the halfway stage, we do have something of a clear leader, and that is in lane 5. Olivia Heron of Stockport Metro has led them out here. Still a long way to go, of course. But she leads by a full body length over most of the field. Closest to her in second, there was Grace Conroy, a little bit closer than the rest. 2.5 seconds behind, though, at the turn. And she didn't get away amazingly well, Grace Conroy, either, in 0 off the wall. The rest of the field made up a little bit of ground there. And coaches and teammates just below me waving her on from Team Steel. Can anyone stop Olivia Heron? Olivia Heron in the 14-year category. She entered a time, a very good one, of 4:38.65. Alexandra Woodhead in lane 4 was the quickest coming into this race. Again, each swimmer on very different paths. Never easy to read into entry times, especially in the heat, especially at 400. So many different factors come into play. But so much credit here has to go to Olivia Heron, who's really led them out and has held that lead up until this point. May Bradburn is making a break for it from lane 1. She's now in second place and is closest to Olivia Heron, whose lead has shrunk. It was to 0.7 seconds. It's now less than that, at 1.6. The gap is shrinking, but she's holding on really well. Has led this out right from the start of this 400. Been a really mature swim from Olivia Heron. She came in with 4:38. She might be leaving the heats with a little bit quicker than that. It'll be close. 4:37.83. She does indeed improve upon that time. It's a really, really good swim from Olivia Heron. Led it all the way out. May Bradburn is good for second place. And Grace Conroy, in a really bold swim on the outside in lane 0, gets third. Those are the confirmed results. Heron, Bradburn and Conroy. That is heat 4. We move on to heat 5.
Take your mark.
Lane 0 here from Bishop Stortford, Millie Fields. Lane 1 from Wrekin College, Harriet Smith. Romy Torrington of Devonshire Excel in 2. Lane 3 from Mount Kelly is Sophie May. 4 and 5 we have the Wickham district pairing of Adele Zakavetsky and Marissa Booth. Lane 6 from Winsford, Alyssa Blackshaw. 7 from Barnet Copthall, Jessica Arundale. Lane 8 from City of Sheffield, Abigail Miles. And in 9 from Nova Centurion is Marilyn Jones. Retreat still coming in thick and fast. City of Leicester saying a big start to their session with Kieran in the boys 100 freestyle, carrying out his race plan to the letter to smash his entry time and qualify for tonight's final. Hashtag sharp sharp, hashtag dirty speed. Another tweet from Katie. Good luck Jacob and Will in the 50 back, showing what can be done on 3 sessions a week. Amy also says good luck to Ella Corby, aka Speed Machine, in the 400 free this morning in heat 9, lane 3. One of the mad ladies from last week has been replaced by her. We'll look forward to that from South Croydon. Lincoln saying well done to their swimmer Ethan, swimming into the final of the 100 free later on. Hashtag go Ethan. 7 notes saying congratulations to Nathan with his medal from day one in the 50 freestyle event. Tina saying, kids still asleep after last night's late night at the pool, so lazy morning watching live stream for her. Good luck to Derwent's eyes, Dan, Annabelle and Joel on day 3. And last for now, Karen says, team orders say go Rubaloo for Team Bath. So keep those tweets coming in, and hashtag SE Swimming. That's one from Jan, actually, to finish off with. Good luck to the Bassett Law swimmers. Tash Utley, Izzy Hobson-Corbett, Lucy Grattan, Callum Kettlewell. Swim fast, enjoy yourselves. And of course, that is the main thing here. Doing a good time of it at the moment in lane 8. It's Abigail Miles of City of Sheffield, who must be feeling pretty alone out there. Most of the action is happening on more of the near side of the pool, looking at lanes 2, 3 and 5 in particular. Lane 2 is Harmony Torrington, in 3 Sophie Main, and in 5 Marissa Booth. So this poised very nicely indeed going into the final 100, where it is still Abigail Miles in the ascendancy, and it's around 1.5 seconds lead that she has over Sophie Main of Mount Kelly in lane 3. Harmony Torrington just behind her in 2. Marissa Booth still up there in the top 4 as well. In 5th is Harriet Smith in lane 1 from Wrekin College, who's just on the periphery. You can see that in that sort of slanted formation spanning between lanes 3, 2 and 1. And still position number 1 for Abigail Miles, who a very strong mentality here. As I say, no one around her in the pool to directly swim against. She's had to do this very much on her own, but some good turns being made there off the wall, and you can see kicking into life now in lane 1 is Harriet Smith of Wrekin College, who's really trying to take Harmony Torrington in lane 2 to task here. And 25 minutes to go, she may have just managed to get on the outside. Miles still in front then, going to be close for 2nd and 3rd. Looks like that will be a 4-horse race potentially out of those positions. Abigail Miles, though, distancing herself from that with a time of 4:36 on the dot. 2nd for Sophie Main, and it's Marissa Booth getting 3rd, despite the strong battling going on there from Harmony Torrington and Harriet Smith as well. So some good battles all around the pool. But Abigail Miles going solo and getting 1st. That was heat number 5. Confirmation of those results on the screen as we move on to heat number 6. Past the halfway point now in these women's 400-metre freestyle heats. Just before we meet the swimmers taking part in this, just a reminder that today is the day of the parents' talk that will be happening at the Skyline Suite here in Ponds Forge between 12:30 and 1:30. It's for parents and guardians of swimmers competing this week that are 13 to 14 years of age. It's regarding the talent pathway that will be taking place over the 2018 to 2021 cycle. Places are limited and will be offered on a first-come, first-served basis. It's a highly recommended talk as well. Well, there's a bit of a Q&A taking part in that. So if you do want more information, do ask a member of the Swim England team. They'll be more than willing to talk to you. And if you're wondering what a Swim England member of the team looks like, our officials wearing the black polo tops, wearing that sort of uniform, so do look out for those over the course of the morning here at Ponds Forge. For any more information of that parents' talk, the parents and guardians of swimmers who are 13 to 14 years of age. So well underway with heat 6, and not much giving at the moment between our swimmers, who consist of Ella Fisher of York City in 0. Lane 1 from RTW Monson, Madeline Burton. In 2 from City of Oxford, Megan Smith. Helena Mole of Wolverhampton is in 3. Lane 4 from Wrekin College, Anya Priest. Rose Compton of RTW Monson is in lane 5. In 6 from Portsmouth Northsea, Faye Francis. Eve Leilu of Wrekin College in 7. Lane 8 from Hillingdon, Cara O'Toole. And in 9 from Romford Town is Amelia Moole. Well, lane 8 seemingly the place to be once again. We saw it from Abigail Miles in the previous heat, and Cara O'Toole making it her own in this. And she's making first position very much her own as well. Second place is Eve Leilu, just next to her in lane 7, but you can see that there's certainly quite a few queuing up and ready to pounce should there be any errors at the front. The likes of Rose Compton in 5 and Megan Smith in 2. Ella Fisher doing a smart job on the outside as well in lane 0. So still Cara O'Toole in lane 8, very much in charge of this. But it looks like we're going to see a similar sort of ending to this heat as we did in heat 5 as we go into the final 50 metres. So lane 0, Ella Fisher of York City, really putting herself in a decent position here to register a good time. These swimmers in this heat, predominantly in the 15-year age group. The 2 exceptions in the 16-year category are Fisher in 0, Madeline Burton as well in lane 1, and they're pushing each other right towards the finish. But Cara O'Toole, in what you have to say is quite a lopsided pool here, leads and will lead right to the end, 4:31.67. Then Eve Leilu right next to her in lane 7 gets second, and in third Rose Compton of RTW Monson, 4:35.17 was the time there. Good enough for third. Quite a few PBs knocking around in the pool and some significant ones as well. O'Toole there looking around 5.5 seconds quicker than her entry time suggests. Very encouraging stuff from the Hillingdon swimmer in 6. Up next, heat 7.
Take your mark.
And we're away and racing in this one. Heat number 7 of the 400 free. In 0 from Barnet Copsall. Here's Annalise Carver-Varela. In 1 from Wickham District is Lucy Wheeler. In 2 from City of Cambridge is Katie Hammond. In 3 for Basildon and Phoenix, that's Rebecca Howell. Sophie Hall goes for Tewkesbury in 4. In 6 it's Genevieve Muller-Butcher from Guildford City. In 7 is Aaliyah May Webb of Exeter City. In 8 is Gabriella Youngstow Patrocinio from Taunton Dean. And 9 is Emily Driver from Hillingdon. In a heat that's half full of double barrel names. Plenty of swimmers are giving it both barrels in this one as well, which is good to see. They're coming up towards the halfway point. Leading the way in 7 is Aaliyah May Webb from Exeter. And she's got a clear lead here over Genevieve Muller-Butcher in 6. And then the rest of the swimmers all gathered pretty much in a line behind her. Turning in first is Aaliyah May. 2:13.11 at the split. .2 seconds back was Genevieve in 6, and then the rest of the field all pretty much around the 2:15 late mark. And that's how it looks like it's going to stay as we head towards 300. Some of the teammates of swimmers doing the Icelandic clap down on the poolside. Anything that gets your swimmers going. Now then, the race is just starting to change. Aaliyah May Webb is being caught. In 1, Lucy Wheeler is making her way through the crowd here. In 4 from Tewkesbury, and Sophie Hall's way back. Rebecca Howell in 3 is up there with the leaders as they come towards home. Leading the way now is Lucy Wheeler. Aaliyah May Webb has been turned over. Rebecca Howell in 3rd. Aaliyah May just fading here. Whereas Lucy Wheeler is just getting stronger and stronger, finishing really powerfully in this back 150 or so. She's going to take this in a canter. Looking at a good time as well, I think, here. Yeah, 4:32.44. Great swim from Lucy Wheeler. Really, really good indeed. She came in with 4:34.96. She's dipped inside that in the heats. Rebecca Howell with 2nd, and a gutsy swim from Aaliyah May Webb is rewarded with 3rd place in that one. She took them all out for a long time in that race. Just couldn't quite hold on. And those are the confirmed results. It's Wheeler, Howell and Webb as the 1, 2, 3, as we can move on to heat number 8. Away we go then. Heat number 8, getting towards the business end of these 400-metre freestyles. And we kick off with Megan Vingo from Carmen Bray in 0. Rebecca Fisher from Nova Centurion in 1. Charlotte Wynne-Jones from City of Milton Keynes is in 2. Chloe Hurst from Borough of Kirklees is in 3. Lucy Woodliff from Grimsby is in 4. Megan Barnes from Barnes is in 5. Billy Grants from Hatfield is in 6. Natasha Utley from Bassett Law is in 7. Melissa Braddock from Wigan is in 8. And Nellie Kinch from Dulwich Dolphins goes in lane 9. Really spread field here. Going nicely along is Megan Barnes from Barnes in 5. And also having a good start here is Rebecca Fisher from Nova Centurion in lane 1. All the way on the outside in 9, Nellie Kinch is having a good time of it as well. That's the 1, 2, 3. Rest of the field is really spread out. Difficult to predict where this is all going to end up in 250 meters time. Leading 3 then, pretty much spread all the way across the pool. Fisher, Barnes and Kinch. Just starting to put Kinch under a little bit of pressure. Not that they'd know that, I don't think. All the way on the opposite side is Charlotte Wynne-Jones in 2 and Megan Vingo in 0. About 80 meters to go then. And Kinch is just starting to fade away from the conversation to win this one. Megan Barnes has been so strong all the way through, pretty much led it out right from the get-go with Rebecca Fisher. Are one of those two going to blink? Are they going to open the door for someone to snatch a win here in heat number 8? They look very strong at the moment. Closest to them are the two swimmers flanking Fisher in 0 and 2, Vingo and Wynne-Jones. But they're too far back now. It's going to be Barnes and Fisher as the 1-2. Has Fisher got one last surge in her to take the victory in this one? Barnes is looking right at her as she comes to the wall, and she knows she's got it. 4:30.54. That's a great time from Megan Barnes. She entered in 4:33.71 in the heat. She dips 3 seconds under that. Fisher in second place. Vingo gets third, just in front of Nellie Kinch in the end, who rallied in the final 20 meters to get fourth place back. There's your 1, 2, 3 then confirmed on the scoreboard. We move ourselves on to heat number 9.
Into the last couple of heats right now of this event. Don't forget, we will have the rest of the multi-class races coming up at the conclusion of heat 10 of this event. We'll be sticking with the 400 metre freestyle. Lane 0 here from Grantham is Molly Colbert. 1 from Wycombe District, Rachel Cox, Freya Stevens. of Northampton is in lane 2. In 3 from South Croydon, Ella Corby. 4 from Denmark, Marina Hansen. In 5, representing Wrekin College, Zara Leilu. In 6, also from Wrekin College, is Ella Thatcher-Plant. Lane 7 from Ellesmere College Titans, Shannon Daligan. In 8 from Thanet Swim, Olivia Miles. And in 9 from Mount Kelly, Martina Ruszkowska. Well, Marina Hansen of Denmark is a clear favourite for this one, and she is the second fastest out of all the entrants for this event, behind her fellow Dane, Katrina Willesen. Hansen's time 4:18.03 coming into this. Just the 12 seconds ahead of nearest rival Zara Leilu. At the moment, very little to separate these swimmers. Seen a few decent swims from lane 8 so far in this event. And Olivia Miles of Thanet Swim trying to replicate what her namesake Abigail did in Heat 5, from taking the pool by storm from lane number 8. Decent start for her as we cross the halfway point, and she's the one to beat, but beginning to emerge in the centre is Marina Hansen, who skipped from 4th to 2nd there on that stretch of 50 metres. Look towards the near side as well, Rachel Cox in lane 1 of Wickham District. She's itching her way forwards. Lane 3, Ella Corby of South Croydon, sitting in 3rd, and with something to build on going into the final 100. Now, of course, when it comes to the actual final, the result of the Danish swimmers doesn't really affect the English swimmers, but it does in the heats, because those swimmers in a category will lose out of place if they fail to beat her time. And now Maria Hansen with the incentive to push. Olivia Miles trying to maintain the pace that she has ignited over the preceding 350 here, as she will soon make her final turn. Still good stuff from Ella Corby in lane 3 for South Croydon, but still trailing by half a second, Olivia Miles, as they turn for home now. Can Rachel Cox in lane 1 kickstart herself on the final length here? It looks like it will be a three-way shootout towards the front. Close together as well in 5, 6 and 7 are Leilu, Thatcher-Plant and Daligan, but that'll just be a skirmish in the middle of the pool. At the front, Marina Hansen of Denmark in on 4:27.48. Then Olivia Miles leading home the rest of the pool. 4:30.63 is her time. A really brave swim there on the far side, and defeating Ella Corby in the process. Rachel Cox, 3rd out of the English swimmers, 4th overall, as we see confirmation of those results up on the scoreboard for the penultimate heat. And up next, our final heat, heat number 10. So I say after this heat we will be going on to the multi-class events. If we could please have the men's multi-class and women's multi-class swimmers for those 400 metre freestyle heats to the marshalling area as soon as possible. That would be appreciated. That's the swimmers for the men's and the women's multi-class 400-metre freestyle to the marshalling area as soon as possible. Thank you. Lane 0 here from Northampton, Olivia Tatton. In 1 from Stockport Metro, Charlotte Kennedy. 2 from City of Coventry, Eva Vickery. In 3 from Millfield, Polly Painter. Lane 4, and representing Denmark, Katrina Wilson. In 5 from Barnet Copthall, Megan Davies. 6 from Team Luton, Chantal Smith. Jessica McDonough is of City Liverpool in 7. In 8 from Nova Centurion, Annie Pearson. And Charlotte Prince Rayner of Winchester is in lane number 9. Katrina Wilson then, 4:15 on the dot was her entry coming into this. And no surprise in that respect that she is where she is right now. Most of these swimmers in the 17 years and over, there's a few exceptions. In the 16-year age group, the likes of Charlotte Kennedy in lane 1, Polly Painter in 3, and then the trio of swimmers in 7, 8 and 9 as well. Jessica McDonough of City of Liverpool leading out of the English contingent with Eva Vickery in lane 2 next up, and Annie Pearson back over on the far side in lane 8 there as well, but there could be room for movement in that respect when you look at the likes of Megan Davies in 5 and Chantal Smith in lane 6 as well. Bursting down the centre, Katrina Willison of Denmark though, who's made very light work of this. And with 100 metres to go, is well and truly in the ascendancy. Still McDonough from Vickery, from Pearson. Do keep an eye on Megan Davies in lane 5 of Barnet Copthall, and Chantal Smith of Team Luton in close occupation as well. So it looks like Katrina Willison will finish outside of her entry, which was 4:15 on the dot, but nevertheless she's going to coast to success in this heat without any pressure on her at all. But look at them all filtering through now towards the ropes at the scoreboard end. McDonough leading the way in the red cap in 7. Chantal Smith has made a burst towards the front. Eva Vickery has managed to hold on to 3rd overall. So McDonough, then Vickery, and then Smith, with a strong finish as well from Olivia Tatton in lane 0. The overall winner of that final heat, Katrina Wilson of Denmark. As our swimmers leave the pool there at the end of the women's 400 freestyle, we'll be sticking with that distance and discipline. But the men's multi-class instead, there'll be 2 heats of that coming up before we have 3 heats of the women's edition. But here we go with the men's multi-class 400 free, heat number 1.
Take your mark.
So this is the first of 2 heats, as I say, and the 3 swimmers involved here in 3 different classifications as well. So a proper multi-class race this. S8 swimmer Scott Hadley of Orion is in lane 3. Lane 4 from Leatherhead in the S10 category is Connor Ballard. And in 5 from Royal Wolverhampton, S9 swimmer James Brown. So these 3 swimmers swimming as close as possible to their respective classifications world record. Whoever gets closest to that world record will get the most points. And whoever gets the most points, of course, the top 10 over the 2 heats will be back into tonight's final. Mentioned, of course, that the European Championships start today in Glasgow for our para swimmers. The European Championships coming to Irish seas in later in August in Dublin. We've already said our farewells to our British team for those European para swimming championships. Some very strong swims and encouraging signs from last week's British Swimming Summer Championships, and of course the best of luck to the British team out there in Dublin, and of course the British team out there in Glasgow as well. Things kicking off later today. And anything noteworthy does happen in Glasgow in the next couple of days, we'll make sure we bring news of that to you here. Tom's Forge, so you're not missing out on that action as well. You can have the best of both worlds in that respect. On the hashtag SE Swimming, still lots of you coming in with tweets. Lily says, come on Amber Ransom in the 50 back, heat 4 lane number 8, let's smash it. And Ollie Etheridge in the 800 metre freestyle, heat 4 lane 5, kick those legs. Heather says, good luck to George Williams for the 50 back at the Swimming England National Summer Meet. Joe saying good luck to Louis Doyle, Megan Annis and Lauren Annis from Worcester Swimming Club, swimming in the 50 metre backstroke. And Pete says good luck to Lucy Woodliff, who's watching on YouTube. Love Dad, heat 8, lane 4, no pressure. Atlantis saying good luck to Josh Smith in the 50 back heats this morning. Go smash it, we believe in you. Some good tweets to see coming in as ever. Whether you're watching in Ponds Forge or at home on the live stream, do make sure you get in touch. On to the final 50 metres of his journey is Connor Ballard of Leatherhead. We will not know until Scott Hadley touches the wall as to who's got the most points in this, as they're all in their own different classifications. So we don't have anyone else to really compare their swims to. 3 individual swims. against the clock. 507 then for Conor Ballard. That is the precedent. That is beaten by James Brown, 548. Good swim from the S9 athlete, 5:05.33 is his time, which is an improvement as well on the entry for him by 7 seconds. So James Brown provisionally in first, but it could all change, and here comes Scott Hadley now of Orient. What will he muster? 455, still very, very respectable indeed, but not enough to challenge James Brown. 548. So that is our leading points total going into the second heat, which will be coming up very shortly. 548 for Brown, 507 for Ballard, and 455 for Scott Hadley. So swimmers get up for our next heat. It's heat 2.
Take your mark.
Once again, mixture of classifications in this one, going from S6 to S10. We'll run through the lineup first and foremost, and then we'll break it down as to who's in which classification. At lane 0 from Mount Kelly is Alexander Hobbs. And 1 from Pioneer 79, Ethan Naisbitt. 2 from Bournemouth Collegiate, Leo McRae. In 3, representing Basildon and Phoenix, is Rowan Brennan. Lane 4 from Billingham, Adam Wyborn. Dominic Redpath of Portsmouth North Sea is in 5. 6 from Bolton Metro, Luke Batty. 7 from Haverton Waterlooville, Benjamin Pope. No lane 8. And in 9 from City of Manchester Aquatics is Aidan Watkins. So of course, the lower the number, next to the S, the greater the impairment. So going from S6 here up to S10, and our 2 S6 swimmers in the pool, Leo McRae in lane 2, and Aidan Watkins in lane 9. And the 1 S7 swimmer is Alexander Hobbs in 0. Sole S8 swimmer is Benjamin Pope in lane 7. And then we have 4 in the way of S9 swimmers, Ethan Naisbitt in 1, Rowan Brennan in 3, Dominic Redpath in 5, Luke Batty in 6. Adam Wyburn in lane 4 is our S10 swimmer. Now, it's not as simple as just saying that the higher classification and the your impairment, if you like, the quicker the world record. It's not always as simple as that. Well, it is a decent rule of thumb to go by. past the halfway point. Wyburn in 4, Dominic Redpath in lane 5. Very close to one another. And their entries are separated by 9 seconds, so it should be close on the points between those two. Reminder that 548 currently the highest points total, and that was set by James Brown at a time of around 5:08, and Dominic Redpath is in that classification that James Brown was in, S9, and so we'll know that time just over 5 minutes should be enough to see him into the final tonight. Leo McRae certainly leading out of our two S6 swimmers. It's all about getting to the finals. Every single one of these swimmers. Just the experience of competing at the national meet. Getting some seconds knocked off of those PBs. So here we look towards the scoreboard as Adam Wyburn comes in. How many points is he going to get? Looks like it's going to be a healthy total. This it is, 546. Redpath should beat that. He does, 602 as he comes in there next on 4:55.99, and that's an improvement for him on the entry. Wyburn just outside of his entry time, so Redpath should be good enough to be back later on today, but of course we'll have to wait until all our swimmers have touched in to know for sure if that is the case. Wyburn on 5:46. Another one looking in decent contention. 452 for Rowan Brannan. And of course we know that our remaining two S9 swimmers are not going to get higher than that, but how high will they get? 402 for Batty, 399 for Naisbitt. A couple of swimmers coming in next. We've got Leo McRae of Bournemouth. What will he get? It will be 525, which is still a pretty decent score from him as well. And then next in lane 7 will be Benjamin Pope of Haventon Waterlooville, S8 swimmer. We've got no one else in the pool to compare his time to, and 337 is the score that pops up on the screen for him. There's still a couple of swimmers yet to come in on our outer lanes. Lane 0, Alexander Hobbs, and at 9, Aidan Watkins. Again, in the case of Alexander Hobbs in lane 0, there is no other S7 in the pool to be able to compare his time to. So that is a wait and see, if you like, as he goes into the final 20 metres of this. As time goes on, it doesn't look as if he'll be able to get up towards the scores we've seen from Redpath. 602 is a really good score, in fact, and as we say, that 1,000 points is usually where you're looking at a world record. So for these swimmers at this stage of their career, 602 is strong, and we've seen quite a few scores around 400 and 500 as well, which is really good stuff. Alexander Hobbs on 258. He should be happy with that. 7:18.04 his time. He can go quicker, but nevertheless, when you look at the distance of 400 metres for these swimmers, it is the furthest that they go in the multi-class. And there's a lot of areas always for improvement. I'm sure every time that they swim this, as challenging as it is, there's always a few seconds dropping off here and there for most of them. So Aidan Watkins now in lane 9 for City of Manchester Aquatics. Let's get behind him, ladies and gentlemen. It's a really long 8 or so minutes in the pool, this. And he's coming into the final throes of it now. 8:12.04 3:07 was his entry. He may just be outside of that, but not by a lot. It's encouraging stuff. 8:13.1, 198 multi-class points. Confirmation of those results. Redpath top, Wyburn second, McRae in third. Like I said, the top five there looking good for a spot into tonight's final, but of course we'll have to wait and see for the ratification of those results and how they compare with heat number one. Now we've got 3 heats to come in the women's multi-class 400 metre freestyle, and 3 swimmers for that first heat are ready and waiting now, and we are good to go down to the pool deck for heat number one.
Take your marks.
Away we go then in the women's multi-class 400 metre free, and as you can see we've got 3 swimmers in this one. Ellie Spokes is an S6 swimmer from Northampton in lane number 3. Fern Snedden likewise is an S6 swimmer, she's from Royal Tunbridge Wells Monson. And Lauren Sanders is from Warrington Warriors, she's an S7 swimmer. Now, in terms of entry time, just purely on time, Sanders and Snedden, lanes 5 and 4, weren't separated by an awful lot at all. And the early going here, there does look to be a fair amount of distance between them. It remains to be seen, of course, whether that can change over the course of the next 315 metres or so. Still a long way to go. Ellie Spokes is a youngster from Northampton. Another one off the production line down in Northampton. And of course, there's some wonderful paraswimmers in the past and indeed the present. Lee Robinson based there currently, who's also an S6 swimmer. There's a couple of years on Ellie Spokes though. Leading the way then is Fern Snedden, and Fern is the youngest swimmer in this race, just 12 this year. From Royal Tunbridge Wells Monson. Probably young enough to count Ellie Robinson herself, just a youngster herself, and among some of her inspirations as paraswimming becomes more and more into the mainstream and we recognise more and more of our paraswimming stars, some of whom, plenty of them actually, are swimming in Dublin in the next few weeks, often acting as a real inspiration to the next generation. Delighted to say we've got quite a few of them in the water over the next couple of heats or so. Got a couple of swimmers in our next 2 heats who are just 11 this year, real youngsters. And we look forward to seeing how they're going to go. So Fern Snedden reaches the halfway point, 3:28.29 is her split. If she can keep that up, that's going to be a really, really good time for her. Can sometimes be a little bit basic dividing a 400 in two like that, but if she can keep that pace up, she'll knock so much off her entry time. Really interesting to see if she can do it. Lauren Sanders is towards the other end of her swimming career compared to the two youngsters in the pool. She's 32 this year, far more experienced. And of course, we so often see in para swimming that swimmers do have generally longer careers sometimes in certain classifications compared to those in the AB side of things. Saw Robin Surgeon from yesterday at the great age of 55. He's still going. Wonderful to see the Orion man. And Fern Snedden here is on her way towards the 300-metre mark, and the pace hasn't really slowed. Been really, really impressive. Just to put it into perspective, the world record for Fern's classification and Ellie's as well would have already gone. It's the standard that some of these swimmers are now reaching. It was set by Yelizaveta Mereshko of Ukraine in Funchal in 2016, the European Championships. 5:14.69. And you never know, maybe one day. Fern Snedden, just 12 this year, could be looking to hit those sort of times. I think it's safe to say she's going to win this race in terms of multi-class points. She's in front of Ellie Spokes by quite a long way, who's a fellow S6, and Lauren Sanders is targeting a quicker time on British disability points, so due to the fact she's in a higher class. So Fern is going to win this race. This is all about time. Remember, she entered in a time of 7:44.66. We're not even at 7 minutes yet, and she's coming towards the finish. This is going to be a really, really massive swim from Fern Snedden. So let's help her home, ladies and gentlemen. Under the flag she goes. She's going to be just outside the 7-minute barrier, but look how much time she's taken off. 7:03.47, over 40 seconds off her entry time. 410 British disability points, and that's pretty good going in itself. That's a really, really good swim from the youngster. Plenty of good things coming from her over the next few years, I'd wager. This European Championships, obviously too soon for Fern, but you never know what lies in store in the future. Lauren Sanders then is next to come in from Warrington Warriors, the S7 swimmer in lane 5. And she touches in at 7:46.35, and that's only a second, less than a second or so, about 4/10 outside of her entry time. So that's right about on par for Lauren Sanders. It's a very good swim for her. 263 British disability points. Now it's Ellie Spokes from Northampton. Youngster, just 15 this year in the S6 class. She entered in 8:25. I think she's just going to be outside of that. This is all about her against the clock now. It's an individual battle for her. We already know from the multi-class points that Fern Snedden has racked up that Ellie's going to be a little bit down on that. But for her, it's all about the time. What can she produce here? Underneath the flag she goes, and towards the wall in comes Ellie Spokes for 205 British Disability points. And that was our first race then of the multi-class 400 free. And those were rather the confirmed results. Our next event is the second heat of the 400 free, and that's coming up for you in just a few moments' time. Heat 2.
Take your mark.
We're underway then with heat number 2. You mentioned in the last heat about the youngsters in the next couple of heats. Emily Jane Surgener certainly qualifies as one of those. 11 this year. The S9 swimmer from Orion in lane 0. In lane 1 from Northampton is Eliza Humphrey. She's an S12 swimmer. In 2 is Madeline Harris from Elmbridge. She swims in the S9 classification alongside Emily Jane. In 3 is Anna Falkus, the S13 swimmer from Wisbech. In 4 from Cockermouth is Drew Stables. She's an S10 swimmer. 5 is Maya Briscoe, the third S9 swimmer in the race. She's from Staines. In 6 from Camden Swiss Cottage is Charlotte Hyde, swimming in the S7 class. In lane 7, Georgia Howell. She's the S6 swimmer from Littlehampton. Genevieve Hunter goes in lane 8. She's an S8 swimmer from Beachfield. And Elizabeth Foster in lane 9 is swimming in the same class, the S8 from Havant and Waterlooville. So a real variety of times here in the heats. Try and guide you through the race as best I can. The three swimmers, generally speaking, on classification, we should be looking to be the quickest. Lane 4, Drew Stables in the S10. And the two swimmers in the S13 and S12 categories, Anya Falkus in 3 and Eliza Humphrey in 1. They'll have the quickest records to chase. Drew Stables we've already seen a few times on the podiums already this week. And she looks in pretty good shape. Let's do the same again here. Still only young, 16 this year, from Cockermouth. And she for sure is going to be the first to the wall in this race. But we know this by now, don't we, ladies and gentlemen? We've watched enough multi-class swimming this week already, even if you were new to it, to know that it's not necessarily the swimmer who touches first who goes on to win the race. I do think, though, Drew Stables will be close with her sort of swim. Drew's leading them home. Maya Briscoe having a pretty good swim in lane 5 as well, it must be said. So Drew's going to take the time here. 5:36.33, 517, very respectable indeed. Now, Maya Briscoe is an S9 swimmer. I think she'll be quite similar to the 5:17 mark here. Won't be too far back. Can she top 500? Not quite. 4:18 for Maya Briscoe. Now, Anya Falkus, the S13 swimmer from Wisbech. 365 for Anya. .540 has gone in lane 6. Charlotte Hyde, the S7 swimmer, will win the race on British disability points there. That's a really good swim from Charlotte. 6:06.99. Good swim indeed, and still with some left in the tank as well. Not even inside her entry time, that. That's a very decent swim. The others on the outside. Let's take a look at what they can produce here. Emily Jane Surgener is coming in on the near side. So to Genevieve Hunter, she scores 3:08 in lane 8. Georgia Howell comes in with 4:20. That's not a bad swim. 2:45 for Emily Jane Surgener, the youngster from Orion. And Elizabeth Foster in lane 9. Still got round about 30 metres to go of her race, so we'll just sum up the results so far. Currently in first place, these are subject to ratification. Charlotte Hyde, 5:40 in lane 6 from Camden Swiss. 5:17 went the way of Drew Stables in lane number 4. And then just in front of Maya Briscoe, Georgia Howell with 4:20 in lane 7. Pretty strong top 4. And Elizabeth Foster won't be troubling them, we know that, because an S8 has already finished in lane 8 in the form of Genevieve Hunter. But it's all about the time now for Elizabeth Foster. What can she produce? The youngster from Havant Horse Louisville, it's 211. So a real variety of classifications, times, ages and abilities in that race. Good showcase of the real variety that we have in England in the paraswimming competitors. And confirm results are on the boards, and our swimmers have now cleared the pool. So we can move on with our final heat. This is heat 3.
Take your mark.
We're away then in our final heat. Once again, variety in this one. And lane 0 from Orion is the S12 swimmer Anna Binns. In 1 from Nuneaton is Eva French. She's an S10 swimmer. Grace Cooper Holmes, who got herself on the podium last night. She's an S7 swimmer from Cockermouth. She's in lane 2. In 3 is Catherine Marr, S13 swimmer from Norwich Swan, who's also been on the podium. Katie Crowhurst from Wickham Districts is an S13 swimmer in 4. Eleanor Bamber from Satellite is in 5. She's in the S10 category, alongside Portia Jones in 6 from Shrewsbury. In 7, from Satellite, S9 swimmer Samantha Lewis, and in 8 from Northampton is Scarlett Humphrey. She's in the S12 class, alongside Anna Binns in 0 in this race. And in lane 9 is the S7 swimmer Isla Howe from Nova Centurion. Bringing up to speed in this one. Leading the way in 4 is Katie Crowhurst, the S13 swimmer from Wickham District. She's been a regular feature at the head of races so far this week. Entered in a time of 5:19.65. She heads towards the 300-metre mark. Let's have a little look. Katie is shaping up in this one. It's going to be Crowhurst who's going to win the race in terms of time, but of course, as we all know, this is all about multi-class points. Still a long way to go in the rest of the race for quite a few of the swimmers. Well, Crowhurst is coming in to win the time race. What sort of points can she pick up here? Just outside her entry time. 5:17 is the total points for Katie Crowhurst. That's pretty decent. She'll be pleased with that. And we'll wait to see how the rest of the field shape up here. Eleanor Bamber will be next in. Let's take a look at her points. 4.46 for Eleanor Bamber, which does give us a bit of perspective on Portia Jones as well. Catherine Marr then will touch in with 3.76 in the S13 category. In lane 7 is Samantha Lewis. She scores 298. Grace-Ella Cooper-Holmes got herself 4.96 meanwhile in the S7 class in lane 2. That's a very good score. No one has quite managed to be able to top the 5.17 scored by Katie Crowhurst, however, and I don't think anyone now is able to. No, they're not. So it will be Katie who wins this race, not only on time, but also on score. Grace-Ella Cooper-Holmes will be second. And our final couple of swimmers come in to complete their races. 2.61 for Scarlett Humphrey and Anna Binns on the near side. The swimmer from Orion, she scores 2.52. So there we go then, those are our results. It was Katie Crowhurst who did indeed win it. Grace-Ella Cooper-Holmes was second, and Bamber third. Our next event is the men's 50-metre back. Ledges look like they're pretty much in place. Not too far away from the start of this one. Plenty of you been in touch on Twitter. Steve Turner says, good luck today, Lucy T. Loud and proud from Burnley Bobcats. Ellie Buxton wishing luck to Oliver and Kieran in the 200 IM. Basman, Phoenix, Chelmsford and York City getting in touch to cheer on their swimmers. Now almost ready for our next event. This is event 305. This is the men's 50 metres backstroke. Heat 1.
Take your marks.
Away we go then, bit of splash and dash now following those 400 metre freestyles. Men's 50 back, 1 Finley Washburn, 2 Benjamin Green, 3 Caleb Fox-Jones, 4 Cameron Green, 5 Samuel Devaney Douglas, 6 Denzel Aki, and 7 Donatas Dragasius. Pretty close then, but on the near side, looks like the swimmers from 1, 2 and 3, Washburn, Green and Fox-Jones are staking a claim here. Could be one of those, and it is. Benjamin Green gets there, 29.79. 2 of our swimmers instantly dipping under 30 seconds there. Lovely to see. Benjamin Green and Donatas Dragasius finishing in first and second. Caleb Fox-Jones in third. We move on to Heat 2.
Take your marks.
There we go then. 0 James Pennington, 1 Jack Duplessis, 2 Bailey Boydhorst, 3 Hubert Kazeniak, 4 Nathan Ong, 6 Matthew Hines, 7 Ashley Donaldson, 8 William Parsons, 9 Matthew Pavia. And through the middle, it looks like lane 4, Nathan Ong is going to be close. He may just get pipped by Hubert Kazeniak in 3. He does. 29.50, 300ths of a second is all the difference was there between Hubert and Nathan in 3 and 4. Matthew Hind got himself third place there. Those are the confirmed results. Kazeniak, Ong and Hind. As we look forward to our next race, this is Heat 3.
Take your marks.
In 0, William Holstead, 1 Sonny Chamberlain Hyde, 2 Joseph Davis, 3 Jacob Veal, 4 Brogan Hyde, 5 Joshua Skinner, 6 Edward Escort, 7 Carter Lees, 8 Alex Campbell, 9 Alexander Catton. Strong start in 5 from Joshua Skinner. He leads the way under the flags. Not going to be far from first. I think he's going to get there. He does. Yeah, a little way in front of second place as well. It was a really strong swim from Joshua Skinner. First man under 29 seconds this morning. 28.76 for the Nova Centurion man. Joseph Davis second, Brogan Hyde third. Now we look ahead to heat number 4.
Take your marks.
In 0, Joseph Giles, 1 Louis Doyle, 2 Daniel Carey, 3 Luca De Silva, 4 Elijah Stannard, 5 Daniel Mercer, 7 William Rudd, 8 Sam Adams, 9 Nathan Woodrow. Towards home they come then, and leading the way in lane 1 is Louis Doyle, but he's got competition in the middle from lane 5, Daniel Mercer. Doyle is finishing really strongly though. Can he hold on to this one? I think he can, but he does get there, 28.77. Good time too, just in front of De Silva. in lane 3 and then Murta in lane 5. Strong work there from Worcester's Louis Doyle to take the win. Those are the confirmed results. We're flying through these. It's on to heat 5.
Take your marks.
In 0, Liam Brennan. In 1, James Cooper. 2, Jacob Armand. 3, Zeman Parker Cox. 4, Tom Ward. 5, Ryan Whitworth. 6, Willem Costa. 7, Harry Andrew. 8, William Brooks. 9, Ted Gundry. Down towards the finish they come then, going really well in lane 0 is Liam Brennan, then in the middle, 4 and 5, Tom Ward and Ryan Whitworth. One of those three, I think, and it's Ryan Whitworth who does get there. In lane number 5 from Taunton Dean, 28.59, quickest we've seen so far, just 100th of a second in front of Tom Ward. That was close. Jacob Armand takes 3rd. Official results are on the board. We look forward to heat number 6.
Take your marks.
In 0, Philip Fratchett-Krigier. In 1, Joel Muir. 2, Cameron Brooker. 3, Henry Wyrill. 4, Jack Simpson. 5, Jeremy Kemp. 6, Matthew Shipley. 7, Ethan Jones. 8, Cole Hagan. 9, Joseph Lennon. Down towards the wall then. Going strongly in 4 is Jack Simpson. Can anyone get near him? It's going to be a close finish again. Lane 2 finishing strongly, so too lane 0. And we've got a lane 0 win and a tied second place. Philip Fratchett-Krigier from Portsmouth North Sea wins it, 28.37. And 600ths of a second behind him were both Cameron Brooker and Jack Simpson. Goodness me, that was a close race. Those are the confirmed results. Let's hope for more of the same there. Heat 7.
Take your marks.
And away we go. Kieran Rutter 0, Jacob Carrington 1, Daniel Morgan 2, Cameron McKay 3, Gustav Freeberg 4, Thomas Garden 5, Ben Hooper 6, Joseph Walker 7, Mark Edmondson 8, George Williams 9. It's the Dane in 4 who's going to do it. Gustav Freeberg from Denmark, 27.09. That's quick. He wins it. Thomas Garden was in second place. Ben Hooper in 3rd. Much more conventional race there with lane 4 winning it, and 5 and 6 going close to 2nd and 3rd. Good swim from Gustav Freeberg of Denmark to get the win. Those results at present still unconfirmed. delay until our start of our next race. Take a little look at what Twitter is saying. Julie Larkin has been in touch saying good luck Jack Simpson in the 50 back. In our last heat, heat 6, Jake Portis wishing James Bilbao a little bit of luck in the 200 IM. Loz from Orion is congratulating her summit today in this one. Lee Davis is looking forward to seeing Amber Ransom in the 50 back heat 4. And Ollie Etheridge in the 800 metre freestyle later on as well. And we can confirm for you there's been a disqualification in the last race in lane 6 for a technical infringement. Disqualification in lane 6. That does affect the top 3. Those are now the official results as we move on to heat 8.
Take your marks.
And away we go. In heat 8, penultimate heat, William Camden 0, Joshua Smith 1, 2 Christopher Hooper, 3 Matthew Gray, 4 Alexander Glees, 5 Samuel Pease, 6 Aaron Morgan, 7 Joseph Tibbetts, 8 Daniel Sharder, 9 Ben Fitzhugh. Down towards the wall then we go, and this is a good swim from the Dane in lane 4, isn't it? Alexander Glees wins it by a distance, 26.10 for the Dane in lane 4. Impressive swim indeed. Samuel Pease in 2nd, Joseph Tibbetts 3rd in 7. Very, very impressive swim from Glees. Now we can look forward to our final heat. This is heat 9.
Take your marks.
And away we go, final heat. 0 Mason Angove, 1 Will Hutchins, 2 Daniel Jenkins, 3 Alec White, 5 Nathan Wells, 6 Rory Huggins, 7 Alex Watkinson, 8 George Lehman, 9 Reese Cambridge-Hughes. Down towards the wall then, it's going to be either Alec White or Nathan Wells in 3 and 5. Close finish, I think Alec White gets there, he does, 27.17. Nathan Wells in 2nd place just behind, and a tied 3rd there between Daniel Jenkins and Will Hutchins. And those are the confirmed results. There's the 1, 2, 3, 3 on the board for you now. Almost time to welcome our next event 306 on the programme. Plenty more where that came from, as it's now the turn of the women. In there, 50 metres backstroke, this is heat 1.
Lane 1, Kaya Phillips. 2, Lucy Block. 3, Chloe Baxter. 4, Jessica Lee. 5, Evie Gilly. In 6, Jessica Meller. And in lane 7, Lucy Hitchin. Good swim so far from Lucy Block in lane 2. From 10, and also 4 and 5, Jessica Lee and Evie Dilly in towards the wall they come, and it is Lucy Block in first, Jessica Lee second, and Evie Dilly in third. Confirmation of those results. It was quick fire as ever on the screen as we move on to heat number 2.
Take your marks.
From 0 to 9, Madeline Squires, Victoria Vodds, Isabel Gray, Isabel Boyst, Kiana Cowell, Paris Brearley, Alicia Baxter, Lauren Annis, Lily Scott, and Libby Freeman. Good stuff in lane 8, this from Lily Scott of Tigers jersey, and I think she's got a nose in front towards the wall. She does, 31.52, the winning time there. Carrie Spreely of Harlow in second on 31.8, and in third, Lauren Annis of Worcester. Confirmation of heat number 2 on the screen as we move on to heat 3.
Take your marks.
For Paul once again here, Lily Mae Marston in 0, in 1, Evelyn Davis, 2, Isabel Eiley, 3, Sophie Lander, in 4, Amari Hawker, in 5, Nia Pillai, in 6, Lucy Turner, 7, Harriet Clements, in 8, Emily McSharry, and in 9, Leah Evans. In lane 5, Nia Pillai of Borough of Waltham Forest, up there, and probably going to get the first touch as well. There's a couple on the near side looking good as well. In fact, her teammate Isabel Eiley gets third, so Borough of Waltham Forest 1-3. Lily Mae Marston of Wolverhampton is in between them. Time of 32.06. So we're looking up to the scoreboard and the confirmed results as they leave the pool at the end of heat number 3. Up next, it's heat 4.
Take your marks.
Next into plunge then, Michaela McCall, Amber Downhill, Charlotte Norman, Nubaya Ajay, Ella Nykamp, Megan Annis, Zia Levy, Lauren Bradley Holt, Amber Ranson and Madison Colesbert Sharp. Decent progress being made in lane 1 from Amber Downham of Chesterfield. She's had a busy couple of weeks here in South Yorkshire. Lane 6, Zia Levy, as well of Gloucester, up there towards the front. Those two are tied, but in front of them both, Lauren Bradley Holt of City of Salford, 31.47 the winning time. Levy and Downham on 31.56. Amber Ransom next to touch the wall on 31.68. That was heat number 4, and we now swiftly move on to heat 5.
Take your marks.
Georgina Bott, Emily White, Eva Acaro, Kate Baxter, Daisy Lundgrove, Jennifer Horn, Gerda Vasilaskaita, Abigail Parkinson, Ella Hale and Sophie Griffin. And Sophie Griffin making good headway over the far side in lane 9, but then in 5 and 6 is Jennifer Horn and Gerda Vasilaskaita of Ellesmere College Titans coming into the wall, and it is indeed Vasilaskaita getting the first touch on 31.18. Second for Kate Baxter of Portsmouth North Sea, 100th of a second ahead of Jennifer Horn of Lincoln, who gets third. Halfway through the heats now of this women's 50-metre backstroke. Our next stop, heat 6.
Take your marks.
Zoe Naylor Parrott, Faye Francis, Jade Blake, Madeline Soper, Lydia Smith, Amelia Moon, Robin Moon, Caitlin Cambrook, Carmen Bywater and Lily Massey. Lane 7, Caitlin Cambrook, City of Sunderland. Up level in lane 7 with Robin Moon of Thanet Swimmers finishing strong in lane 6. Not enough to finish first though, she's 0.05 of a second behind Cambrook. Moon second and Massey on the far side in third. Another close one there, no surprise at all, and quite a few of these entry times being chipped away at as we move on to heat 7.
Take your marks.
We'll do it tonight once again. Lucinda Andrews, Josie Carroll, Charlotte Wynne-Jones, Hannah Seymour, Eleanor Fest, Sophie Yendall, Abby Lowe, Victoria Gnant, Josephine Stevens and Megan King. Well, Sophie Yendall was a very prominent part of the 16-year age group last week in the British Women's Summer Championships, making quite a lot of finals there. She's going to get the first touch here. Whether or not it's good enough for a final spot, we'll have to wait and find out, but 30.48 is a very strong time from her. And it beats the entry as well. And then a feast of Carn Bray in second, and in third, Megan King of Portsmouth North Sea. There's a confirmation of those results. Heat number 8.
marks.
Emma Bickley, Denise Gardo, Amelia Peddle, Anna Marley, Jane Brown, Emma Jones, Megan Pye, Jasmine Eiley, Georgia Harvey, and Annabelle McCrory, all part of the complex of heat and break, apart from lane 1. In 4 then, Jane Brown of Newcastle. Good performance from her yesterday in the heats as well, and she made a final. Will she make another one? Well, that's a straight line coming up towards the wall here. Brown leads them home, 37.5. 400ths ahead of Jasmine Eiley of Borough of Waltham Forest, who have enjoyed a decent time of it so far in the heats, haven't they, in this event? Emma Jones, City of Salford in 3rd. Top 5 there, all under 31 seconds. Up next, penultimate heat, heat number 9.
Take your marks.
Eleanor Julie, Emily Lane, Lily Girardet, Sarah Mazzio, Francesca Whiting, Sarah Wright, Kate Mills, Laura Richmond and Hazel McCongill. 3 lanes 4, 5 and 6 there. Sarah Mazzio, Francesca Whiting and Sarah Wright coming up towards the wall. First touch is for Francesca Whiting, 30.52. Second, Kate Mills, and third, Emily Lane. Could we please have a coach or representative from Calverton and Bingham, please, to the timing suite as soon as possible. That's Calverton and Bingham to the timing suite. Thank you. Well, next, heat 10.
Take your marks.
Olivia Burrow, Neve Page, Olivia Norman, Macy Lawrence, Sarah Sylvester, Ellie Walker, Elizabeth Woodcock, Emily Ford, Abigail Jolly and Maya Hoyland. In lane 4, Sarah Sylvester of Denmark making good progress. And the middle, staring at the ceiling, she sees the rope, she'll come to the wall, she'll get the best time. That will be 29.87. Emily Ford in second on 39.1. 500ths ahead of Abigail Jolly. So that's the final heat of the women's 50-metre backstroke. We will be sticking with the backstroke because we've got a couple of multi-class races to come. The men first and then the women. And then, of course, we'll be ending the first part of the heat session with the men's 200 IM and then the women, of course, later on. 1:30 will be the men's 800-metre freestyle. Here we go then with the men's multi-class 50-metre backstroke, heat 1.
Take your marks.
Well, we've been here before, haven't we, ladies and gentlemen? Of course, as we've said in the last couple of days, that those in the lower classifications out of our para swimmers, of course, are used to swimming on their own in the pool, and we have that here with Harvey Phillips in lane 4 for Louth. S4 swimmer, turning just 14 years of age this year. And he's trying to get as close as possible to the British record of 55.03. It's going to be a very difficult ask for him. However, his PB coming into this is 1:15.54, and that certainly is attainable as he crosses into the final 20 metres now. And everyone getting behind him here, because this could be a new PB as he inches closer and closer towards the scoreboard end. Always a difficult ask when you've got no one else alongside you in the pool. And Harvey Phillips just gunning this alone, and it is looking good for a PB, but he just needs to squeeze out those last few bits. In he comes, and he's got it. 1:12.91 PB for Harvey Phillips of Laos. Big well done to him, and a big thank you to you as well, ladies and gentlemen, for your support in that. It will have been greatly appreciated, and no wonder he's got a smile on his face as he exits the pool. Big well done to Harvey Phillips, new PB.
Time then for our next event, ladies and gentlemen, which is the women's multi-class 50-metre backstroke. This is heat 1 of 1.
Take your marks.
And away we go then. In our women's multi-class 50 back, got Ellie Chalice in lane 3. She's an S4 swimmer from Colchester. In 5, also an S4 swimmer from the city of Norwich, is Suzanne Warren. And in lane 4 is an S5 swimmer from Guernsey, and that is Sarah Whitchurch. And already you can see the variety of stroke styles across the classifications. It's a fly style kick from Suzanne Warren. Those are the times we're going to see. It will be Sarah Whitchurch who gets there to the wall first. 56.11 is a very good time. Now, what can Suzanne Warren do? 61.86 for 425 points, which will win the heat. Ellie Chalice gets 300. So 1, 2, 3 of Warren, Whitchurch and Chalice. Some good swims all around there. It is Suzanne Warren. The 39-year-old from the city of Norwich who does win it. 425 multi-class points. Batch of swimmers are making their way out onto the pool deck. Next event up on the schedule is the men's 200 metre individual medley. We do have 8 heats of these, and then we'll also have 8 heats of the women's version, and that will be us for the morning before we move on to the 800s at 1:30. Here we go then, ladies and gentlemen, event 309, the men's 200 metre IM. We start with heat 1. And away in racing then, in the 200 IM, Finley Washburn from Plymouth Leander goes in 0. Rafa Dobson from City Milton Keynes is in 1. In 2, that's Oliver Taylor from City Manchester Aquatics. Barney Howarth Osborne goes in 3 for Sheffield City. In 4, that's Connor Wright from Thanet Swim. 6 is Tyree Smith from the City of Liverpool. Sonny Johnson from Wanted goes in 7. And Edward Pauling from Beckenham goes in 8. Mentioned we've got the men's 200 and the women's 200 IMs to come to end the session. We will also have a swim-off in the men's 50-metre backstroke, 17 years. So we've got that to look forward to as well. And we'll be having a medal ceremony pretty shortly as well for the multi-class races. That's all to come though. In the here and now, leading the way in the 200 IM first heat is Rafa Dobson of the City of Milton Keynes. He's got competition though in this one. It's coming in the shape of Sonny Johnson in lane 7. Swimmers in the middle lanes are nowhere to be seen really. And this is close. Rafa Dobson and Sonny Johnson pretty much stroke for stroke as they go under the flags. Think Sonny Johnson's just going to get there. He does. 2:19.01, just edging out Rafa Dobson in the final 15 metres or so. Tyree Smith was good for third. A good win there from Wantage's Sonny Johnson. Those are the confirmed results on the board. We move on to heat number 2. As we move ourselves on into heat number 2, take a look at the field. In Millfields, in lane 0 is David O'Loughlin. In 1 from Portsmouth North Sea is Oliver Kettle. In 2, Bolton Metro's Jake Reynolds. In 3 is Donatas Dragasius from Camden Swiss Cottage. In 4, Archie Minto from the city of Brentford. In 5, Daniel Kennedy from the city of Leicester. In 6, Niall Connell from the city of Coventry. In 7, from Gateshead and Wickham, is Adam Barrett. In 8, from Enfield Swim Squad, is Sam Cornish. And in 9, from Haringey, is Max Green. To the breaststroke we go then. Well, they turn for home in the free. Leading the way at this stage, looks like lane 2. Jake Reynolds, he's a brilliant breaststroke leg. He turned in the breaststroke in 6th. He's now first. That's how good at breaststroke he is. As they come towards home, it's he who leads. Second, David O'Loughlin from Millfield. But that might change too. Oliver Kettle is coming to the boil here in lane 1. And also in 4 is Archie Minto. He's there or thereabouts, and he's taken over on this freestyle from Jake Reynolds. And he's going to take the win here. Really strong freestyle from Archie Minto to finish it off. 2:18.74. Jake Reynolds in second, and in the end, stepping up into third was Daniel Kennedy in lane 5. Lovely swim there from Archie Minto to take the win. 2:18.74. And those are the confirmed results. Minto, Reynolds, Kennedy, as we move on to heat number 3. And away we go then, third heat of the men's 200 IM. In 0, Marcus Scullion from Portsmouth North Sea. In 1 from Northampton is Joshua Vance. In 2 from North Lincolnshire Swim Squad is Kieran Summers. 3 is Cole Haig from Dinnerton. 4, Pietro Lombardo from Ealing. In 5, Zeeman Parker Cox from Leicester Sharks. In 6 is Mount Kelly's James Bartley. And 7, William Pestle from Team Ipswich. In 8 from West Norfolk is Samuel Rose. And in 9 from Northampton, Jevon Penny. Two swimmers in 7 and 8, William Pestle and Samuel Rose, have made a good start to this one. So too in lane 2, Kieran Summers from North Lincolnshire. So those three lead at the moment, having a good breaststroke leg so far is Joshua Vance, who's looking good. Still plenty to play for in this one, and coming through the field now in 4 is Pietro Lombardo. Been on this sort of scene for a good few years now. The man from Ealing. What sort of time will we see here? Pietro Lombardo then leads the way into the freestyle. Don't expect him to give this one up at this stage. 2:18.39 is the time he entered in. Got a pretty good chance of being close to it, if not inside it. The rest of the field give chase. I don't think they're going to get too close. Lombardo, 10 metres to go, has this race in control. Second and third will be very close between Kieran Summers, Joshua Vance and maybe even Samuel Rose. No doubt about the winner, Pietro Lombardo, 2:16.01. Very good swim indeed. Summers second, Vance third. And Pietro Lombardo there going inside his entry time by 2 and a bit seconds. Great swim. As I mentioned a few minutes ago, we'll be having a medal ceremony very shortly, which will sandwich heats 3 and 4. Ladies and gentlemen, the medal ceremony for the women's multi-class 50 metres backstroke. The medals will be presented by Swim England President Richard Whitehead. The winner of the silver medal, representing Guernsey, Sarah Whitchurch. And the winner of the Swim England National Summer Meet 2018 gold medal. Representing City of Norwich, Suzanne Warren. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it one more time for your medal winners. A big well done to Sarah and Suzanne, picking up their winners' medals there in the multi-class 50-metre backstroke. Good swims from the pair of them to earn those medals. And without further ado though, it is time to head back to the racing. And straight on with heat number 4 of the men's 200 IM. To the backstroke we go. In the 200 IM, in 0 from North Lincolnshire, it's Oliver Bradley. In 1 from City of Peterborough, Henry Pearce. In 2 from Guildford City, Oliver Bedworth. In 3, Louis Fenson from City of Coventry. 4, Ethan Grace Riches from Lincoln Vulcans. In 5 from Wickham District is Joshua Williams. 6 from Dulwich Dolphins is Theodore Thompson. In 7 from City of Birmingham is Jamie Dark. In 8 from Romford Town is Daniel Genkas, and in 9 from Amersham is Jamie Owen. Onto the breaststroke we go then. A good start being made by Lincoln Vulcan's Ethan Grace Riches. He's looking very strong here as well on the breaststroke. The young man from Lincoln Vulcans. Well, he's sort of in a class of his own here in this stage, but over on the far side, Jamie Owen from Amersham is going along quite well too. He's in second place, but can anyone turn over Ethan Grace Rich's leads, is the question. Onto the freestyle we go, and Ethan has led this out for a vast majority of this race. The only one who's really within striking range here is on the far side, Jamie Owen, and even now, not sure if he's got it in the locker to rein him back in. No, he hasn't. It's a really good swim from Ethan Grace Riches. Really good indeed. He wins it 2:14.37. Just strong all the way through. Shaves a few seconds off his entry time to boot as well. Terrific swim from Ethan Grace Riches, who wins it. Jamie Owen in second, Joshua Williams in third. Those are our confirmed results. We move on. It's Heat 5.
Past the halfway point of these heats. In lane 0 from City of Oxford, George Rudd. In 1 from Grimsby, Oliver Duckworth. In 2 from Team Ipswich is Sam Perkins. Lane 3 representing Basildon and Phoenix is Liam Brennan. In 4 from City of Derby, Luke Skelding. 5 from Hastings, Louis Charon. No lane 6 in this heat. 7 from City of Oxford is Kenji McDade. Kieran Dale of Thanet Swim in 8. And in 9 from City of Milton Keynes, Joshua Press. Halfway point, and it's been a good start on the fly and on the back for Luke Skelding of City of Derby in lane 4. Either side of him just waiting. Around his ankles are Louis Charon in lane 5 and Liam Brennan in 3, and some good head of steam for Kieran Dale in lane 8 for Thanet Swim as well, who was second at the turn on halfway. And he's just about keeping that position as well, despite the intensity being raised on this third heat. Of course, a few strong breaststrokers taking part in this, but that has not altered the top 2, who still read Skelding in lane 4, then Dale in lane 8. Now Joshua Press in lane 9's got himself into third, but it was a decent turn there from Liam Brennan in lane 3. It looks like he may be able to reclaim that spot as they come into the final 50 metres now. All of these swimmers, apart from Joshua Press, are in the 16-year age group. Press in the 15-year category. So for a lot of these swimmers, this could be the difference between making the final tonight and not at all. Great battering last 50 metres there from Kieran Dale of Thanet Swim has seen him surge into first. 2:13.86 his resulting time. So Skelding has to settle for second. And in third is Louis Charon of Hastings. His time 2:16.53. About half a second between first and second. As we now go on to heat number 6. Of course, a busy day for a lot of our male swimmers, just as yesterday was. We had the 1500s yesterday, we've got the 800s coming up in a couple of hours' time as well. That starts at 1:30. And do be reminded that at the end of the first session, if you like, the women's 200 IM, after that, we will have a swim-off. And that will be concerning the men's 50-metre backstroke, 17-year age category. In the pool here, in lane 0 from Borough of Kirklees is Adam Law. In 1 from Ellesmere College Titans, James Bilbao. 2 from City of Milton Keynes, Miles Drabwell. In 3, and representing City of Manchester Aquatics, Matthew Evans. Wrekin College's William Slawson is in 4. In 5 from Warrington, Matthew Domville. In 6 from Royal Wolverhampton, Ben Cope. Max Jameson of Thanet Swim is in 7. In lane 8, representing Mount Kelly, Jacob Newcomb. And in 9 from Defensio Excel, Casper Reynard. William Slawson really taking to this one very nicely indeed. 2:09.91 was his entry. He's the second quickest out of the English entrants for this event. And he's looking to show that sort of form as well. So they come in the final throws of this one. Looks like this has been a heat that's gone by pretty quickly. Matthew Evans of City of Manchester Aquatics in lane 3 will finish second. Third, really close. A lot of swimmers involved in that. Matthew Domville first, 2:06.3. Matthew Evans is second on 2:09.22. And Miles Drabwell finishing third for City of Milton Keynes. We will get those top 3 results in ascending order very shortly for you. There they are. Domville from Evans from Drabwell. That was heat 6. Up next is heat number 7. Might as well for those swimmers who have the parents, should I say, of swimmers that are 13 to 14 years of age. Talent Pathway talk coming up at 12:30, so just over half an hour at the Skyline Suite. And as I say, if you do want any more information of that, a member of the Swim England team will be more than happy to provide that to you. It is regarding the Talent Pathway that will be delivered within the 2018-2021 cycle. They're always very popular, these parent talks, so do make sure if you're going there, you get there pretty early, because it will be a first come, first served basis sort of thing. Here we are with heat 7, just the 1 heat to go after this. And our 10 swimmers in the pool are as follows. Lane 0 from City of Sheffield, Michaelo Rosenfeld. In 1 from Seals in South Africa is Jacob Arman. Lane 2, Camden Swiss Cottagers, Alexander Borisov. Christopher Wood is of City of Oxford and lines up in 3. Alongside him in 4, Derwentsire's Joe O'Halloran. In 5, Loughborough University's Joshua Thompson. Archie Plowman of Northampton occupies lane number 6. In 7, from West Norfolk, Finlay Ryan. Lane 8, Mount Kelly's Lewis Smart. And Toby Laguda of Hatfield is in lane 9. Joshua Thompson turning first onto the freestyle, and it's a straight battle down the spine of the pool between him and Joel O'Halloran of Derwent's side. Also chopping away in lane 2 is Alexander Borisov of Camden Swiss Cottage, who was 4th there going into the final 50, alongside Christopher Wood next to him of City of Oxford in lane 3. You've got 2 battling out on the far side as well, as Joshua Thompson pulls clear and leaves the rest to battling out for themselves. So it will be Thompson And then it's Plowman with Christopher Wood in third. Thompson from Plowman from Wood. And not much separating those in fourth and fifth. And in fact, those two in fourth, Alexander Borisov and Lewis Smart, couldn't be separated on 2:11.93, a tenth of a second, the two of them outside the top trio. They've done all they can do in their bid to be back in one of our age group finals tonight. It's now down to our final heat to do the same as well, heat number 8. Lane 0 from City of Oxford is Arnold Martin. 1 from Nova Centurion, Joshua Harris. No lane 2. Lane 3 from Oldham is Samuel Goldrick. Jakob Jørgensen of Denmark is in 4. In 5 from Loughborough University, William McIntyre. Teammate Adam Brown next to him in 6. 7th from City of Leeds, Liam Birrell. Lane 8 from Team Bath, Dylan Hood. And Alex Watkinson of Warrington is in 9. So the 4 central lanes consisting of swimmers in the eldest category, the 19 years and over, the rest all in the 17/18. So almost 2 separate races going off here. You've got the one in the middle, and then you've got the other 5 battling it out. Martin Harris in 0 and 1, and then Birrell, Hood and Watkinson in 7, 8 and 9. Past the halfway point, Jørgensen, the only one in that first half to manage to get a split under a minute, 59.85. McIntyre and Goldrick, incidentally, either side of him, were level on 101.6. But Adam Brown seems to have really started the ignition, and he's got himself in front now of both McIntyre and not quite yet Goldrick, but that will certainly be in his sights next with 50 metres to go. Rest of the pool, 5th, Alex Watkinson on the far side in 9, battling away with Dylan Hood at the moment, but our focus back towards the centre, and Jørgensen, who was dominant in the first half of this race, maybe losing grip on that dominance now, with Samuel Goldrick giving him a real run for his money there, the older man. Denmark, of course, looking for separate medals later with the commemoratives, but when it comes to the heats, it's the same final spots that they're having to get towards, and Samuel Goldrick really pushing the Dane all the way. Jørgensen coming out on top, though, 2:07.71. Goldrick second on 2:08.44, and William McIntyre third on 2:10.45. So that concludes the men's 200 IM. The women are coming up very shortly, and as we say, after the final heat of the women's, we will have that swim off in the men's 50-metre backstroke for a spot in the 17-18 years final. And it says good luck to Kate Morris in the 200 IM. Remember, the Maltesers are waiting, and also a tweet coming in as well, courtesy of Rosie. Well done, Nathan Wells in the 100 free, and finals place in the 50 back. Good luck to Sam Rose and Finn Ryan in the 200 IM, and to Luke Ryan in the final heat of the men's 800 as well. No pressure, Sam, but need a place in the final to dodge Mamma Mia 2 again. Up next then, the women's 200 IM, heat 1.
Take your marks.
8 heats in this event, likewise to the men. And we go with heat 1. With 5 swimmers. Who are Isabel Bryant of Plymouth Leander in lane 2. Lane 3 from Tynemouth, Libby Freeman. In 4 from Sevenoaks, Eva Acaro. Lane 5 from City of Sheffield, Grace Conroy. And in 6 from Stockport Metro, Caitlin Lansom. Progressive stuff from Isabel Bryant of Plymouth in lane 2 after the first half of this. The other 4 very square on with one another. Freeman in 3, Acaro in 4, Conroy in 5 and Lansom in 6. And in fact it's the latter of those, Caitlin Lansom. She seems to have a bit more wind in her sails. The halfway point she was in 4th position, but the gap between 4th and 2nd, a little more than a second itself, so no surprise that that deficit has been able to be flipped on its head. And in fact, the lead has as well, because Lansom now is ahead of Isabel Bryant. And all 5 of these swimmers are in the 12 to 13 year age group, the youngest age group, of course, for our women. And we've got a U-shape, but not the U-shape that we see when things are going to fall. Instead, it's the outer points of the U that are leading the way, and particularly Caitlin Lansom, who is running away. 10 metres to go, and the heat's going to be hers. What time's she going to get is the next question that needs to be answered, and we're going to find out now. 2:31.08, good improvement on the entry. Really good performance that from Caitlin Lansom, who's come into this race and really got a teeth stuck into it. Isabel Bryant in 2nd, and Grace Conroy of City Sheffield gets 3rd. Results of heat 1 are up on the scoreboard. Up next will be heat 2.
Take your mark.
Full pull for this one. Sophia Knight of Millfield in 0. In 1 from Borough of Waltham Forest, Isabel Eiley. In 2 from Tiverton is Jodie Dilks. In 3 from City of Manchester Aquatics is Meadow Drumsfield. In 4 from Nova Centurion, Livia Kingsland. 5 from Wickham District is Marissa Booth. 6 from Maxwell is Gracie Hudson. Lane 7 from Dereham, Ruby Douglas. Lane 8 from Royal Wolverhampton, Chloe Harris. And in 9 from City of Bristol is Leah Evans. All but one of these swimmers are in that 12-13 year age group, the exception being Meadow Drumsfield in lane 3. Olivia Kingsland boasts the quickest entry time coming into this of 2:35.8, but only really a second gap between all 10 of these swimmers on paper. Of course, that's not always how it transpires in the pool. Those entry times are taken from lots of different races that have taken place over the last 8 months or so in the 2018 calendar. It's all about these couple of minutes here in Sheffield on this Wednesday afternoon. We'll see who gets back into their respective age group final later on today. And of course, more or less, these swimmers battling it out between one another as they're in the same age group. There'll still be a few coming after this in the 12-13 year age category, but not too many. So we'll be seeing a couple of these later on tonight, but who will they be? And we're no real closer to finding out when you look at how close this one is coming into the final 25-metre skirmish on the far side. Good swimming from Chloe Harris of Royal Wolverhampton, who was fourth there on that turn, but she's really sprung off well. Also down the centre, between the green caps of 4 and 5, Livia Kingsland leading ahead of Marissa Booth as they come into the wall. So Kingsland with the quickest time, 2:29.48, and also managing to get under the 2:30 mark is Chloe Harris as well. Two big improvements there on the entry time. Chloe Harris's time at 2:29.97. So confirmation of heat 2 there. Up next is heat 3.
Take your mark.
Just to bring you notification of a disqualification in that last heat for a technical infringement. It concerns lane 3. So heat 2, lane 3, disqualification for a technical infringement. We are now with heat 3, in lane 0. From Nottingham Leander, it's Lauren Shipley. 1 from City of Peterborough, Ella McGee. 2 from Carlisle, Jess Prokas. 3 from City of Birmingham, Kira Hancock. Rebecca McMenemy of Reading is in 4. And 5 from City of Oxford, Zane Pinfold. 6 from Stockport Metro, Olivia Malden. Lane 7. From Borough of Kirklees, Millie Boulding. Lane 8 from Abingdon Vale, Lottie James. 99 from Bedfordshire, Imogen Lambert. The eagle-eyed of you may have noticed that the clock at the top right of the scoreboard is a little bit quicker than those split times. The split times are accurate, but the running clock at the moment not quite up to the right speed. But the scoreboard is certainly correct when it tells us that Lottie James in lane 8 leading at the halfway point going into the breaststroke, and that she's managing to do a good job of holding off the attentions around her as well. But look at the way Imogen Lambert in lane 9 is just crawling on the outside, and she may be our new leader here as well. Jess Prokas having a very successful 50-metre spell as well on that breaststroke. So the turn for home is on. And it's between Lambert in 9, Prokas in 2, and just about anyone else that fancies it, because Lottie James still up there, and also in lane 7, Millie Boulding of Borough of Kirklees, and then you have the couple beginning to emerge in the more central lanes. Kira Hancock in lane 3, and there was Zane Pinfold in lane 5 from City of Oxford. This is a good finish to this race. And now it looks like it's going to be between Boulding and Hancock, and Boulding leads over Hancock by 11/100ths of a second. So Boulding from Hancock. Jess Prokas is the one that joins her in the top 3. Again, to reiterate that it's not essential where you finish in the heat. It's all about the times that you get, but it's good reading when you're up towards the top of the leaderboard, as Boulding, Hancock and Prokas were there. Up next, heat 4. And this race will lead us to the halfway point with a reminder. 20 minutes time will be that parents talk, or parents and guardians of swimmers between 13 and 14 years of age. It's in the Skyline Suite, just upstairs here in Ponds Forge. Do make sure you attend if you are a parent or guardian of a 13 or 14-year-old swimmer. Places limited and offered on a first-come, first-served basis. Lane 0 here from City of Leeds is Leah Sloshan. In 1 from Borough of Stockton, Faye McDonough. 2 from City of Derby, Michaela Stephen. Lane 3 from Newcastle, Neve Page. In 4, and representing Nova Centurion is Kate Morris. In 5 from Bassetlaw, Izzy Hobson-Corbett. In 6 from Tunbridge, Caitlin Ebbage. Lane 7 is City of Derby's Constance Varnes. In 8 from Kingston upon Hull, Elizabeth Hawkard. And in 9 from City of Birmingham is Millie Checkley. It's Ebbage of Tunbridge in lane 6, leading past halfway. Just a little army to her right-hand side of contenders, such as Izzy Hobson-Corbett of Bassetlaw in lane 5, and in fact, look at this in lanes 2 and 3, more or less dragging each other along. You've got Michaela Stephen in 2 and Neve Page in lane 3 of Newcastle. And Ebbage looks like she may be ousted at the front here by Michaela Stephen, but we'll wait and find out here. Well, Stephen has gone from 6th to 1st over the breaststroke, and that's how much of a swinger it can be from one way to the other. The tide changing in favour of the East Midlander in lane 2. Lane 0 as well, Leah Sloshan, the City of Leeds, just minding her own business on the near side, and maybe plunging herself up towards the top of the contention as well. We've still got a couple of the 12-13 year category swimmers in this race, and this may be their last chance to get into the final. There are no other swimmers in that lower stage band coming up after this, so this is the last chance to get to that final. Hawkard has got the first touch. That's a really good recovery in the last 50. She seems to come out of nowhere. 2:29.26. Michaela Stephen dropping to 3rd. There's Millie Checkley as well that got ahead of her in 2nd, just 100 separating lanes 8 and 9 there. Hawkard from Checkley, they're your top 2 as we go on to heat 5.
Take your marks.
Racing we go then in heat number 5 as we come towards the end of this morning's session. Don't forget we do have the mid-afternoon lineup with the men's 800 metre freestyle kicking off at 1:30. About an hour and a quarter. And roughly, give or take, 45-50 minute lunch break. So we're back at it again with the 800 metre freestyle. 7 heats to that this afternoon. In this one then, heat 5, we've got Taylor O'Rourke from Northampton in 0, Emily Eiley from Borough of Waltham Forest in 1, Charlotte Emery from Taunton Dean in 2, in 3 it's Isabel Hepburn from Poole, in 4 Brighton's Maisie Thornton, 5 is Kate Baxter from Portsmouth North Sea. In 6 from Harrogate is Emma Moore, 7 Rachel Cornford from Wickham District, in 8 Charlotte Johnson from Mid Sussex, and in 9 from Bishop Stortford is Millie Fields. And leading the way into the freestyle in lane 2, Charlotte Emery from Taunton Dean. And not far behind her is the chasing pack, which consists of lane 4, most prominently, Maisie Thornton, who wasn't far behind when they turned for home. Not sure anyone else can get too close. Certainly in lane 6, Emma Moore of Harrogate is giving it a go. She's in third at the minute. I'm not sure she's got enough to turn it into second or indeed first, but finishing really strongly here is Maisie Thornton. Charlotte Emery clinging on for dear life. I'm not sure it's going to be enough. It is, though. Goodness me, wasn't it just 100th of a second to hold on to the victory? That was a great finish. Charlotte Emery wins the race by her fingernails. Maisie Thornton second, Emma Moore third. Those are the results. This is Heat 6. Heat 6 then, and in this one we've got Tamsin Myberg of Planet Swim in 0, Abigail Lacey from Portsmouth North Sea in 1. In 2 from City of Manchester Aquatics, that is Emma Dixon. Anna Doughty from Loughborough Uni goes in 3. For 4 it's Caitlin Bergen from Mount Kelly, Anna Marley from Harrogate goes in 5. In 6 Isabella Rennick from Millfield, in 7 from Tunbridge Wells is Rose Compton. In 8, Wycombe District's Megan Daly, and Frances New goes for Dulwich Dolphins on the far side in lane 9. And take a look at the start from Caitlin Bergen, flying away here on the backstroke. Off like a shot she is. Well clear then on the breaststroke, but this is where it might just start to change a bit. Keep an eye on Anna Marley in lane 5. And also, further outside of that, in lane 7, Rose Compton. In lane 1, Abigail Lacey. We'll just try and strip back the lead, held by Caitlin Bergen of Mount Kelly. And it has been shrunk. Is it enough? It's Bergen who turns in first. Turning in second position is Rose Compton in lane 7. In third, Anna Marley in lane 5. Fourth, Abigail Lacey in lane 1. And the hunt is on. Caitlin Bergen has let them out, but has only made a target for her own back. She's now got to run away from the rest of the chasing pack. Closest in lane 1 now is Abigail Lacey, who's finishing really, really strongly. The Portsmouth North Sea contingent have been very loud this week in getting behind their swimmers, and Abigail Lacey's giving it everything. She won't quite get there. Caitlin Bergen holds on, 2:24.25. Abigail Lacey second, Rose Compton third, Anna Marley even in fourth. Great race that. Caitlin Bergen holding on for dear life, and she does it very, very well indeed to win it. Those are the confirmed results of Heat 6 as we move on to Heat 7. Here we go then with heat number 7. Penultimate heat of the 200 metre IMs. In 0, Cara O'Toole from Hillingdon. In 1, it's Lucy Pears from Haventon Waterlooville. 2, Ellesmere College Titans Maya Hall. Diana Lawson from City Milton Keynes goes in 3. Rosanna Arnold in 4 from Guildford City. In 5, Holly Houghton from Taunton Dean. Polly Painter from Millfield goes in 6. Rebecca Flisher from Nova Centurion is in lane 7. In 8, from City Manchester Aquatics, that's Erin Hoyland. And in 9, from Mount Kelly is Macy Lawrence. As we come in towards the finish there, that is Rosanna Arnold who gets the win. 2:22.38. Maya Hall in second place. Rebecca Flisher of Nova in third. Dominant performance from Rosanna Arnold of Guildford City. As we move on to heat number 8. Where we go then in our final heat, heat number 8, Krista Wilson in 0, Jennifer Green in 1 from Wigan, in 2, Abby Bowden from Kingston One Hull, in 3, Poppy Richardson from City of Peterborough. Victoria Gannant goes for City of Leeds in 4. Rhiannon Bowen from Team Bath is in 5, Molly Colbert from Grantham in 6. In 7, Lucy Grattan from Bassett Law. Ella Hale from West Suffolk is in 8, and Erin O'Meara from Watford is in lane 9. Quick start made in lane 3 by Poppy Richardson, part of the very talented City of Peterborough squad. Cluster of very, very talented girls coming out of that squad in recent years. Witnessed them in action in the East region. No surprise when they come to nationals and do well. On the breaststroke though, this is where you'll see Victoria Gannant start to come a little bit to the fore. City leads Simmer, very, very good breaststroker. And she will lead it into the freestyle. As they turn for home, it's Gannant who leads the way. Jennifer Green of Wigan in second. Rhiannon Bowen from Team Bath in third. Krista Wilson of Newcastle in fourth. And a really good getaway from the wall by Jennifer Green from Wigan. And take a look at lane 5. Rhiannon Bowen, or Bowen rather, finishing exceptionally strongly. Team Bath coach on the far side looking on. He'll be pretty pleased with what he's seen so far, but is the result going to be snatched by Abby Bowden? It's going to go close. Abby Bowden gets there just in front of Rhiannon Bowen. Poppy Richardson finishing very strongly to finish third. Jennifer Green fourth. Victoria Gannant fifth in the end. That was a really close race. And a big shout out to Abby Bowden, who wins it. Rhiannon Bowen just behind in second. Poppy Richardson third. That is our final heat of the morning. But ladies and gentlemen, do stay with us. We have got a swim off on the way in the 50-metre backstroke, which is always worth a watch. And to guide you through that, here's the one and only Jonathan Bell.
Oh, Steve, thank you. Well, coming up, we do indeed have the men's 50-metre backstroke. And this will determine who gets in to the 17 years final, 17-18 years final, of course, for the men's 50 back. Looks like we've got the green light from downstairs for the swim-off.
Take your marks.
And away we go then. So in lane 4 from Calverton and Bingham is Jacob Carrington, and in lane 5 from Sandwell is George Williams. Just a straight swim for these two, 50 metres the distance, to try and figure out who will be in the 17 years final later on tonight. And it looks like Jacob Carrington motoring away is going to do it. And he has. Well, the pressure of a swim-off not getting to him at all. And Jacob Carrington will be back later on. 28.08 the winning time. 0.38 ahead of George Williams. So big well done to Jacob Carrington. We'll be seeing him later on. So then, ladies and gentlemen, that does indeed round off the morning session. We'll be back in almost bang on an hour's time for the men's 800-metre freestyle. We hope to see you then. We certainly will see our officials then. But officials, for now, thank you. You may now leave the poolside.